Welcome back everyone to episode 7 of my Final Fantasy VII Starting Equipment No Items Challenge. Today's episode is going to be mostly sort of story flashback stuff that doesn't have a massive bearing on the challenge itself, but there is one thing we need to do first. We're just outside of Midgar, we need to get to Calm, but because I want to get some more diversity in terms of spells and different things I can do because of the restrictions on materia slots, enemy skill is definitely a thing here. So the first thing I need to do is learn Materia Magic. Materia Magic is the first enemy skill that is available to get. You can get it right here just outside of Midgar, and it is a cheap non-elemental spell against all enemies. So it's great for this kind of run to sort of give some of my characters some extra hitting power. So we'll just do a couple of fights here until we get Materia Magic. Now the way enemy skill works, for those of you who have not played the game before, for the enemy skill materia to learn a skill or a spell, you need to have the enemy skill materia equipped, and you need to have the character with that materia equipped be hit by the spell. They learn the spell. You then need to win the fight. You can't run away from the fight. So that can be difficult in some ways, especially because I'm planning on getting beta from the Midgar Zolan, something you guys will see in a future episode. So you can't just get the skill and run away. And some things like your healing enemy skills, you need to use Manipulate Materia to get that as well, just to control the enemy's movements. In terms of this one though, it's nice and easy. Fight the enemy who does it, make sure he hits the whole party, win the fight. Not complaining about a couple of fights to get him though, because in this kind of run, levels are going to be extremely useful. And I did say no grinding for the sake of grinding. So if I am fighting every battle I need to get to a particular goal, that's adequate grinding. I'm not just going to go over the top. So 2 or 3 extra fights just to get Materia Magic. Running from these wouldn't serve any purpose, it's just better to fight them. Once we get the spell, then we can move on to Calm. So here we are, these are what you want. So let's get rid of one of them and let the other Materia Magic us. Although it might survive until it does. So there we go, there's Materia Magic. And now Red 13 will spin. He learned Materia Magic, or the Materia learned Materia Magic. Once we win this fight, we have our first enemy skill, which can be extremely useful. Bang. Come on, kick its butt. The other one did Materia Magic as well, but hey ho. So you can get multiple enemy skill materials. There's actually 4 in the game. However, I don't need to worry about getting the 4th one in end game. I'm only really going to need the 1 or the 2, really. So I'm not going to worry too much about going back and getting the low-level enemy skills on the later ones. I'm just going to sort of get them as they come. Alright, heal up and off we go. Alrighty then. So, let's go to Calm. So Calm is the first town you go to outside of Midgar. There's a couple of other things around this area if you're not doing a challenge run. I can't remember the name, but one of the enemies here gives you a weapon for Barret that's worth stealing. No, just put enemy skill on Tifa, so I've got some variety, but I'm not going to get into a fight before the town. Here we are. So, Calm. The party now splits off, says we'll meet you at the inn, and my first point of call is to just go around and loot everything. An awful lot of what I pick up here I can't use through this challenge, but as I've said before, I'm trying to re-familiarise myself with the game as well, because 1, I plan on more challenges after this, 2, because it's been ages, so and the items that I pick up that I can't use, I can sell later if I need to buy extra materia or, you know, spend more money at the gold saucer, things like that. So I'm not too worried about it. It's only going to help us in the long run. So yeah, talk to a few people. Some people in Calm love Shinra because of the convenience of electricity. Some people hate them because they know they've got too much control and they're doing damage to the planet and whatnot. Personally, I just loved the music in this town. It was a wonderful change of pace considering all of the kind of grit and danger in Midgar. We get out of Midgar and everyone gets a chance to breathe, even just for a little while. And it really plays to this game's strength in its storytelling, in terms of speeding up the intensity of the story and scenes, and then slowing it down to let people have a bit of a breather, and then ramping it up again when the time comes. They play that off beautifully in this game, as well as the alternate way where it purposefully doesn't give you chance to rest and process particular events, which again we'll get to when we get to particular points in the story. But although this game is flawed, its storytelling is wonderful. It really is. Now there's the Peacemaker. The Peacemaker is a weapon for a character I can't get yet. I can't even use it when I get him. However, if you're playing this game casually, make sure you pick it up, because it's nice to have when you pick up Vincent, which I will also show you how to do in this. So yeah, although this is a challenge run, it's a pretty easy challenge, so hopefully I can make it a little bit of a let's play as well for those of you who have never played this game before. Although I'm by no means an expert, I hope to be able to share a little bit of knowledge and mindset on the game if it's something you've never done before and something you're interested in. So please, like before, like the video, share it, leave a comment. If there's anything you particularly want to know, pop it in the comments, and if I can answer it, I will. I'm just loving playing through this game again. I can't believe it's been a good few years since I've played it properly. Everyone should play this game at least once. Anyone with any interest in RPGs should play this at least once. So just get all these items, and then once we're done here, we need to go to the inn, and what we get then is a massive flashback scene, which is going to take up most of this episode, unfortunately, because there's not much to do with the challenge on it, but a huge thing to do with the story. And it's a really effective way for them to do exposition with Cloud telling this, giving his flashback, because you play through the flashback, rather than it just being a set of nothing but cutscenes. So it gives you some real feeling of sort of integrating yourself in with the story. So here's our Materia store now. I want an Earth Materia. Already got Poison, Steel, Sense, but I do want to pick up a heal as well. Because I can't use items, I need as much versatility with Materia as humanly possible. Weapons store, there's nothing here for me at all, no accessories at all. So out we go. And I think that is us. So yep, back to the inn, and let's progress the story. Alright, so Cloud meets the party, and this is where they want to know about Sephiroth. This is where the tone shift of the game and the direction starts to change. Everything before now has all been about Shinra and Midgar and everything else. The moment Cloud found out that Sephiroth is still alive, he became very focused on, we need to stop him, he is the bigger threat. So this flashback here is telling the party about 5 years ago at Cloud's hometown of Nibelheim. He's just become a first-class soldier. He's gone on a mission with Sephiroth to clear out monsters at Nibelheim, and check the Maka reactor owned by Shinra there. Now remember, Soldier is your kind of Mako-enhanced private super soldier group owned by Shinra, led up by Sephiroth. He's the most powerful soldier, and he's the one who does all the hardest missions. So Cloud's just going along with him here. So Cloud, 5 years ago, like a kid, is all excitable. How do you feel, Mr. Sephiroth? Apologies again for the gaping mouths. Gotta love the Steam version. I mean, the Steam version is the best way to play this game, not just for the ability to mod it and all the improvements they put in it and bug fixes they put in it, but it does add a few little bugs of their own, which is always funny. Sephiroth, I never had a hometown. That would be our monster. Now, I'm going to say this right off the bat. Screw this dragon. Because, you know, it's got 2 targets it could fight. So it kills me. Sephiroth brings me back to life. Thank you, my glorious teammate. And then it kills me again. I mean, these fights have absolutely no bearing on the story. You know, it means nothing. It makes me laugh. That dragon just did not like Cloud's hair. And Sephiroth owns it. Because that sword is badass. And totally unable to be wielded in real life. Sephiroth's strength is legendary. And then we reach Nibelheim. So, they all get to Nibelheim. Cloud is back in his hometown. How does it feel? First time back in your hometown in a long time, right? Yeah, there you are, Sephiroth. I wouldn't know because I didn't have a hometown. My mother is Genova. She died right after she gave birth to me. And then he laughs about his father. Like, really laughs. Ah, Sephiroth. You kind of got to feel bad for him in a lot of ways. Alright. I love the fact that he can smell the Marco. Not gonna lie. And the name of Sephiroth's mother, Genova. That damn headless spook that's living in the Shinra building. Yup. Quite right. Gotta love Tifa there. Stop interrupting, Barrett. So yeah, the town was quiet. Not many people were about. Get to sleep early. We leave for the reactor at dawn. Alright. And we get a little bit of freedom to kind of run around, see the town, speak to people. Which is nice, you know? You may visit your friends, family and friends. Thank you, Sephiroth. Thank you. A guy with a photographer. I don't take pictures of nobodies. Sephiroth or bust, man. Yep. And Cloud sort of not remembering if he went into that house or not. Oh, that's his house with his mother. We'll go in there later. First, we need to go to Tifa's house. Did you go to my house? Yeah, I did. Tifa, where are you? It's not like you can loot anything, but I forget what you can examine if there was anything in their mum's room, but there's definitely in here. I went into Tifa's room. Jamming on the piano. This is actually important later for getting Tifa's ultimate limit break, I believe. So if you are playing this game casually, make sure you come in here and play the piano. And remember this sequence of notes, because you'll need that later on. And if you hadn't noticed, that's actually the theme song for the world map. If you want, you can also go to Tifa's wardrobe and steal her underwear. Just saying. Didn't do it in this playthrough because I'm trying to get the Tifa date at the Gold Saucer. So I don't want to annoy her. But yes, you can steal her underwear. Time to visit the neighbours. Soldier. Salsa. Gotta love the little brother. Aw. Out the way, kids. I need to go visit my mummy. So Cloud goes back to visit Mum. That's Tifa's house. Silly me. There we go. Mom. Cloud's like, it's not relevant what happened when I went to see my mum. And everyone's like, I want to hear what happened. So I went to see my mom. And a few days later she died. But she looked fine when I saw her. Aww. Hey, Mom. Door. Let me take a look at you. Oh, my boy. This is a lovely little scene, though, I must admit. Again, helps with the pacing, and it starts off this flashback in such a nice place. My, how you've grown. Bet the girls never leave you alone. Aww. Settle down with a nice girlfriend. Cloud's like, I'm alright, I don't need one. I was almost waiting when I played this for the first time for the when am I getting grandkids line. So I'm kinda glad she didn't do that. But, yeah. It was nice that he got to see his mum one last time. Ominous. Alright, to the inn to find Sephiroth and the rest of the crew. We will sleep, and then the next morning we get to go up the mountain to the reactor. And I love the design for the Nibelheim Mountains. Ah, it's Zangan. So, Zangan is a travelling martial arts teacher. He's the man who taught Tifa how to fight. So the reason she can kick so much ass is because of this old man here. Gotta love Zangan. Upstairs to see Sephiroth. There we are. This scenery. I feel like I know this place. To bed. I think. We're short one bed. There we are. Let's get some sleep. And they've hired a young guy to the Mako reactor. She's young, but hey ho. But I'm sure we all know who it is. Where's our guide? Yo, Tifa! Tifa in a cowgirl hat. She's our guide up the mountain. Love it. And the photographer guy. Now the photographer guy is actually quite a big plot point, so do remember that this happened. It will come back later in the game. Cloud, Tifa, come on, Sephiroth. And click. Wunderbar. And up the mountain we go. A Mako reactor was built in Mount Nibel. The cold mountain air of Mount Nibel was the same. I kind of love the kind of jagged, spiky outcroppings all over this mountain. It's got a really strange design to it, and I always found it interesting. Right. So, across the rickety rope bridge. Nothing could go wrong here. Nothing at all. Uh-oh. Oh no! The bridge broke! Ah! Who would have ever predicted something like this would happen? Terrible. Well, Cloud and Tifa are okay. Sephiroth, of course, is okay, and there's our other guard. Everyone seems to be alright. Yeah, caves are intertwined like an ant farm. I love that. Oh, Sephiroth, someone seems to be missing. Don't have time to search for him, sorry. Maybe cruel, but job comes first. Pragmatic, dude. Pragmatic. Oh no! Combat! Whatever shall Cloud do? Get hit in the face. And Sephiroth again proves he is awesome. Bang! Oh yeah. Alright, into the Materia cave. And this is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning, this place. You've got to remember that back in this day and age of gaming, these different scenes, these different areas that we were in were all hand-painted. And then you had the 3D assets animated on top of them. So think about the amount of skill that went into painting all these different locations. It's beyond gorgeous. Now this area here again adds a little bit more world building, and also it gives us a little hint into some of the secrets that we can get later on in the game. So this is a naturally forming materia cave. It's a materia fountain, effectively. So, or a Mako fountain. So this little fountain here is naturally condensing Mako energy. So when you condense Mako energy, you create materia. So this is basically naturally forming materia rather than sort of artificially created materia, which the vast majority of materia is. Get a little bit of world building into how materia works, or at least some of the theory of the materia. And Sephiroth laughing at Cloud using unscientific terms like magic and mysterious power. And I love his description of Hojo, an inexperienced man assigned to take over the work of a great scientist. He was a walking mass of complexes. Well, considering what we've already seen Hojo try to do to Aerith and Red 13, I think we can agree. But up the last bit of the mountain, and here is the Nibelheim Mako reactor. Here we go. And into the reactor we are. So this part of the flashback is where the kind of tone shift really happens. This is a major plot point for Cloud's drive, as well as Sephiroth's drive as well. And this is such a beautiful scene. Tifa gets told to stay outside because it's only official Shinra employees can go inside the reactor. Cloud and Sephiroth go to find out what's going on. Why is there more monsters in the area, and why is the reactor doing silly things? And Sephiroth's not moving quick enough. Run, 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 run! I win. Ha! So we have all these pods here, and a room labelled Genova. Ominous. Now close the valve. Here's the reason for the leak. Close the valve on the broken pod. Done. Why did it break? Just pondering here. Now I see Hojo. Doing this will never put you on the same level as Professor Gast. Yeah. It condenses and freezes Mako energy. So what does condensed Mako become? It becomes materia. But Hojo puts something else in here. Take a look. Ah! Monsters! God, that freaked me out the first time I saw that as a kid. There we are. So there's some more world building into how Soldier works now. So members of Soldier are humans who have been showered with Mako energy to increase their physical abilities and ability to use magic. What Hojo is creating here are monsters by basically growing humans in a tank that's being constantly infused with condensed Mako. Now Sephiroth has started to lose it a little bit. Sephiroth's mother was Genova. He pretty much knows at this point that he's been created to be the ultimate super soldier. And the idea of being created in a pod like this, like these monsters, yeah, that's going to be upsetting and very distressing. And Hojo's experiment was a failure because it died just by falling out the pod. Gross. Am I human? Ah, Sephiroth. Now it begins. Cloud surprised that Shinra was producing monsters. Don't be surprised. Shinra are not a good company. But yes, the implication here is that an awful lot of the monsters in the world, the increase of monsters all across the planet, is due to escaped experiments of Shinra that are breeding. Which in itself is horrifying to think about. So, back to the story. They all went back to Nibelheim. So then the party found themselves back in Nibelheim, and Sephiroth has locked himself in the Shinra mansion after going just a little bit crazy. Not surprising. I don't know how I would handle it if I sort of discovered that I was a genetic experiment. But Cloud decides to go in the mansion, see if he's okay. Now, I love this flashback sequence. There's an awful lot of fleshing out of motivations that's done in a really nice way here. And as I said before, the fact that you get to play the flashback rather than it being nothing but cutscenes really helps ingrain it in your memory and make it a more palatable form of exposition. The downside is there's nothing challenge run related to this. There is a way to skip the flashback, but it involves sort of hacking the game code and changing your progress marker, and I don't have any experience with that, and it can cause all sorts of problems, so unfortunately we'll have to play through. As I said, this works as a pretty good let's play for people who've not played the game before, which is nice. So Sephiroth talking about how they found an apparently dead organism in a stratum 2,000 years ago. It was called Genova and later found to be an ancient. My mother's name is Genova. So this is where Sephiroth's looking through all of the Shinra materials and finds out, or, you know, puts the pieces together to find out that he was a genetic experiment created. You know, let me be alone. So he's trying to process all this information. He's trying to find out exactly what happened. Sephiroth did not come out of the Shinra mansion. I love this. The commentary here is brilliant. And the next morning... Tone shift. Love this. So, let's go see what's happened to Sephiroth. Shall we? Sephiroth seems different. Just the bells, I love it. The sound design in this game is wonderful as well. You just absolutely tell the mood with every single scene. So then, Sephiroth laughing. Traitor. So Sephiroth's motivations really start to become clear here. There we are. The planet originally belonged to the Cetra. The Cetra were an itinerant race. They would migrate in, settle the planet, then move on. At the end of their hard, long journey, it was said they would find the promised land and supreme happiness. But those who disliked journeying appeared. They stopped their migrations, built shelters, and elected an easier life. They took that which the Cetra and the planet had made without giving one whit in return. Those are your ancestors. Sephiroth? Yep. The disaster hit the planet long ago, and your ancestors survived by hiding. The planet was saved by sacrificing the Cetra. Now that's all that's left of the Cetra is in these reports. What does it have to do with you? So yes, an ancient named Jenova was found in a 2,000-year-old stratum. The Jenova project wanted to produce people with the power of the ancients. Sephiroth is what was produced. Yeah. Love it. So, yeah, for those of you who kind of missed bits and pieces here, they found an ancient organism in a 2,000-year-old stratum. Not really alive, but genetically intact. Named it Jenova, found that it was an ancient, and in order to breed someone with the power of the ancients, they genetically created Sephiroth. Sephiroth has now found out about it and has declared that the people who are not ancients are traitors to the planet. Uh-oh. So Sephiroth has burnt Nibelheim to the ground. Cloud's found Zangan, but Cloud's house is on fire. Oh no. So Zangan's into the inn to check that. Sephiroth, says the dying guard. Cloud goes into his own house. But his mother didn't survive. Oh no. And yeah, Sephiroth's sort of anger and power and everything, he's just massacring everyone. And this scene was haunting when you were a child playing this for the first time. Even as an adult now. Oh, gives you chills. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, Cloud chases Sephiroth into the mountains and into the reactor. Because if Sephiroth has discovered that he is effectively the son of Jenova and wants to help his mother reclaim the planet, where's he gonna go? Only one place he's going, and that is to the reactor to find him and stop him with luck. Go, go! There's Tifa. Papa! So Sephiroth killed Tifa's father. Left his sword there. And then this sort of coincides with a little sort of flash of memory Cloud had in Reactor 5 earlier on in the game. So Sephiroth is here to see his mother. And Tifa does a silly. Oh, thank you for the sword, madam. Aww, poor Tifa. God, that's gotta hurt. And in he goes. This scene is just brilliant. Aww. Luckily Tifa survives. Otherwise, you know, the game wouldn't happen. Cloud has to end this. So here we go. I'm kind of glad they don't actually make you fight this, because it would be cruel. But we get more decent cutscenes though. And here is Genova. Mother, let's take back the planet together. So Sephiroth, for the first time in his life, as corrupted and crazy as it sounds, he has found purpose and direction. Purpose and direction in destroying those worthless creatures who are stealing the planet from Mother. Yeah, Sephiroth has officially lost his mind. Goodbye, mechanical angel statue thing. Still haven't quite figured out what it is yet, apart from a very pretty pump system. And there is Genova. You will remember her having no head from the Shinra Tower earlier on in the game. It's good to see her with a head. It's good to see her with a head. And Sephiroth is the chosen one, the chosen leader of the planet. I have orders to take the planet back from you stupid people for the Cetra. He has lost it. Absolutely lost it. It's where Sephiroth's kind of god complex comes in. And goodbye flashback. So that's the end of the flashback. Cloud admitting here he can't remember how he even survived that battle or what happened there, but in terms of skill, he couldn't have killed Sephiroth. Official records say he was killed, but you can't trust Shinra's records. So this is where they decide, look, we need to go after Sephiroth. He's the bigger threat to the planet. And this is where the direction of the game kind of goes from there. So, you know, Barrett's getting a move on. We get the PHS system after this cutscene, which is nice because that allows us to change party members on the world map or at save points. And yeah, off we go. So the next place to go is out towards Junon, but we have a few stops to make on the way, including a few things to do for this challenge. So yeah, hopefully those of you who've not played the game before have got a bit more backstory into Sephiroth's motivations and how the game's direction is going to go. For those of you who have played the game before, I hope you enjoyed rewatching the flashback as much as I enjoyed replaying it. But that is going to end this episode. So next episode we're going to get ourselves to the Chocobo farm and across the marsh. And we'll see you at the next one. So thank you again for coming, guys. Please like the video, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out for now.